Now, we can't rule out things like tornadoes appearing, but they're going to be much more likely closer towards Alabama, and I want to break that down for you in just a second. But first, the timing of the system for us is mainly going to be during the evening hours. So if you're trying to make outdoor plans to go to the Cherry Blossom Festival, early this afternoon will be your best time to get out there. You're only looking at a few counties that have any good chance to see severe weather at all, and the main threat for them is going to be that strong wind. Now Sunday, that's going to be a different story for us here in Georgia. We are looking at severe weather chances here on that day, and it's still a few days out, so it's kind of unclear exactly what we can expect. But the way things stand right now, I'm looking at wind to be the biggest thing to watch out for.
Would you like to tell what just happened?
You tell. I'm too humble for that.
Daniel, you can fill us in.
Okay, so Ashley was over here finishing up her bottle of water. And then there's a trash can about 15 feet or so away
in the weather center.
Back over
She's
there.
tried many times to make this shot, and she finally got it today.
I've hit the TV, I've hit Daniel.
Yes. It's really going to be about half an inch to maybe a full inch. Now, Rick, I know that you've been here for quite a few years. How would you compare this to other snows that you've seen over that time?
I've honestly, in Macon, there's only been one other good snow.
It's obviously starting off very warm. We're seeing temperatures already reaching the upper 80s in some spots of Georgia. And looking around, not a cloud in the sky as we start off the day here. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about what exactly is going on with Michael at the moment. Winds at about 140 miles per hour. The reason it strengthened so quickly is because the water is just so warm right now in the northern Gulf of Mexico, about 86 to 87 degrees out there. But those clouds are going to be on the way out here over the next couple hours. As many of you may know, those numbers are a little bit deceiving because if you factor in the wind, that could make it feel quite a bit chillier out there. Macon and Warner Robins both currently feeling like the mid-teens. Right here in the orange is where tornadoes are going to be most likely, but for the spot in the yellow, that's where most of middle Georgia is right now. And that's why we're looking at hail, because once we get into the evening, that tornado threat goes down quite a bit, but that hail and thunderstorm threat is still going to be there for us. Still seeing a tropical storm, very strong tropical storm too at 60 miles per hour. The storm's moving very quickly. That's why it was able to hold this much strength as it approached middle Georgia. It made landfall in Panama City, right along Mexico Beach actually, as a strong Category 4 with winds at 155 miles per hour. Now it's died down to about 60. Still, some areas are gusting close to 90. If you look at the system now, still in the Gulf, but it is going to be making landfall closer towards about 1:30 later on Wednesday afternoon. After that, once we get to about 6 o'clock, this is when it should begin to move into Georgia. Our heaviest rain should also begin to move in closer towards 9, 10, or 11 o'clock, that time frame. But at least for today, that cool air from Kentucky and Tennessee is still moving down into Georgia. But when that south wind takes over tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of this warm air slowly making its way up into the mid-state. And many of us are going to have these temperatures returning to the 70s. I'm looking at just after sunset for us to begin to see those first few thunderstorms moving into middle Georgia. And as far as the best time is concerned, in between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. What exactly is causing this? Well, we do have what is called the ring of fire blocking pattern in effect here in the southeast. Now what that is when you have a center of high pressure really just parked over the southeast, not allowing any of that nice cool air from the north to move on in. So we have a slight south wind. We're going to see rising temperatures still over the next couple days, a very high heat index, and that afternoon chance of rain is not going anywhere. That's still going to be in effect. I'll be talking more about that in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the big thing to watch for today, which is going to be the heat. In between about 1 and 6 o'clock is obviously going to be the hottest part of the day, but I really want to highlight in between about 3 and 5 o'clock for you. During that time, we're probably going to see a heat index over 100, maybe even as high as 105. Now this is going to be a cool video that was sent to us by Perry Smith. Turtle out in the front yard. You can see a lot of standing water there as well. Probably thought he was still swimming in a pond, but the way it stands, this might be something that we might see over the next few days with isolated heavy rain around the area. Throughout the rest of the day, we are going to have sunny conditions. So yes, it's cloudy at the moment, but that's not going to be lasting all day. We're going to see these sunny skies and really dry air moving on in, and that should be here until Friday. Looking at our own small chance of some severe weather to move on in, but as far as things like tornadoes are concerned, those look very unlikely as of right now. But just a couple hours ago, we did have some thunderstorms moving through places like Macon, Warner Robins, Cochran, and now it's beginning to really fizzle out closer towards the Eastman area. This is where that thunderstorm is. Now it's beginning to die down quite a bit. Here, I know we're dealing with this snow, which is very cool here in middle Georgia, but you got something cool to show us here.
That's right. my very own snowman.
But I think the worst time for today is going to be around 6 or 7. That's when a lot of us are going to be seeing rain pushing on through. Some of us may even see a couple severe storms during this time. And for those of you that live closer towards an area like Dublin or Eastman, might want to watch out for something shaped like this, because typically when you see a shape like that, it leads to things like stronger wind and a lot more rain.